Hey, what's up? I'm your girl Dia Direct, and welcome to Beyond the Studio with a real sister, Miss Melanie Fiona. The MF life is out, and she's doing wonderful things. Hey, Melanie.
Hello.
Now we're inviting you all into our sister girl session because we've already gotten started.
We've already gotten started.
Okay, so we're going in,
Yeah.
and so. First of all, your music is off the chain. I'm a huge fan. You sing with such grit and soul and power, and it sounds like you always going through some kind of catastrophe. like I'm like, is it what's really going on in your world? Where you get all that experience and devastation
You
from?
know what? I'm really not always going through catastrophe. I find that I thrive creatively better off of my pain, and because I really think that I attribute my pain to my strength. You know, it's I think why I'm able to live a happy life and to like do what I love and be positive on a daily basis, because I'm able to express and channel my creativity through my pain. And I think that's it's true. It just works for me, and I've noticed that my fans really love that, and that's what they really love for me, and so I always want to continue to give them that. And there's a balance, of course, in the music. You get the "It Kills Me's" and the 4 a.m.s and the wrong sides of a love song, but you get the "Watch Me Works" and you get the "You Stop My Hearts" and the "Give It to Me" rights. I'm all about the empowerment aspect, I think, of it, even through the pain. So
we do get a lot of authenticity from you, and it is risky to talk about your pain, but everybody can relate to that, and so there's also growth from that. So through your pain, what have you learned about Melanie?
I have learned how to find my peace within. In a career path, in a world, in a love, in a family, as a human being, it's chaotic, and it can really test you, and it can pull at your core and your morals, and I find that I've really been working on the peace within, finding that thing that's like my reset button that is like, I will not be broken by this. I will not be shaken. I will not be disturbed. And really just being in touch with my feelings, being honest and true to myself. It's okay to sometimes just be like, you know what, I'm having a bad day.
Exactly.
I'm having a bad day, and today I'm having a great day.
Right.
There's nothing wrong, I think, in owning what's going on
Your
inside
truth.
here. Your truth. And that's the thing that I've learned the most.
As opposed to just pretending it's not there. You never deal with it.
Never. And I find that, like, especially in relationships, that's when those things come out. When you're forced to reflect yourself onto someone else.
Yeah.
And likewise with them, you really get to see how your own world of a bubble can affect other people and yourself and your interaction.
Because you think you're projecting something, you may think of yourself a certain way, but when you have to, as you say, sort of have the mirror of somebody else and how that bounces off, it's not always cute.
It's not always pretty. It's not. And I really, feel like what we were talking about off camera, that you really need to work on self, so that when you do join with someone else any relationship, working relationships, personal relationships, friendships, girlfriends, I mean, you know how to best interact within that relationship, so that it's healthy.
That's right.
And it's not a sub reaction of something else that hasn't been dealt with inside. So I've really been working on that.
Girl, sound like you done touched yourself
a few times. Okay.
So when you have a song that says "I've been that girl," what does that mean?
It means I've been that girl. That girl. That girl that everybody's like, and girl, she's just gone. She just doesn't know what she's doing. And I just wish I could just get through to her. And why can't she see what this guy is really like? And, why can't she just do better for herself? And why, we've all been that girl. At some point or another, we've been subjected to some sort of ill treatment, I think, of ourselves and our self-respect. And that's a real thing. But like I say, I feel that it's important to learn from your mistakes. And once you come through that, to make a vow to yourself. Say, I've been that girl, but never again. And, do you think it's about teaching that.
Do you think it's a pattern that starts from learned behavior as a child, in terms of what you've experienced? And, I'll speak for me. All the things that I said I would never do, I found myself somehow right back in that same circle, and you have to come back to yourself and what you learned as a child, even if you don't realize you've taken it into yourself.
I'm big on going back I'm big on really taking the time to like to go back to when you were a child and think about the things that really made you feel sad or insecure or things you wish you had, things that made you really happy. And then, you know, I really do feel like, you know, as children, we're like sponges. So we are going to absorb whatever we are exposed to. And you have to even look at your parents. You have to look at the product of what you are and who you came from and what they come with, because they're just people as well.
That's right.
And so I feel like, you know, you do have to acknowledge where a lot of the things are. And it's okay if you're a work in progress.
Yeah.
And it's okay if you find yourself sometimes making the same mistakes, but it's you have to acknowledge what you need to change before you can change it.
That's
So,
absolutely right. And you know what it is? You're successful, you're beautiful, but what I've come to realize is you're not one thing. But we think we are. We think because I have this title, because people look at me this way, that I have to be this one thing. And somehow we don't allow ourselves to be human.
this is probably like the foundation and struggle I've experienced as an artist in the music industry, because I've never thought about categorizing people and music and feelings and having to label it and check it in a box.
But people do it to
but
you.
people do it, and they've been doing it to me since the beginning of my career. Oh, you look this way, you should sing this. Oh, you sing too well, don't speak so intelligently. You need to sex it up. Nobody's going to be able to sing along with those songs. People don't want to hear ballads. People don't want to hear singing. You know, they just it's I've always been you know, in tune, I think, with the human condition. And so I've never wanted to be put in a box about anything, about the way I dress, the types of food I like, the men I date, anything. I've always felt that it's freer to just live and experience and find what you really like and what really makes you. And I really believe that my diverse culture, my diverse upbringing is what makes me. I believe that I am diverse. That is what makes me me.
Right.
And so I love it. And so I'm all about going after that and encouraging people to step outside of their comfort zone sometimes and try some different things.
So 2 last questions. What do you look for in a man, and what do you like for yourself? Oh, what do you like about yourself?
What do I look for in a man? I look for a man who is honest. Like, and I know that that's a deep thing to say, but I feel like in my experiences of growing and falling down and getting back up, I've become, like to think, a good judge of character. And so I feel like I have a good gauge of when I can see someone's truth, and my intuition is something that I go off of very, very much now, as opposed to going off just what looks good or sounds good in theory, and what is idealized and, you know, made up to be this, you know, fantasy. And I go off of energy. And so I feel like when you see somebody, once you've done that work for yourself, you can see their energy and see their truth. And so
you can recognize truth because you're living in truth. And
yes. And so the minute I get that little feeling, right away, I already know where to put that person in my life. I can keep them this close or this close. And then the thing that I think I like about myself the most, I like to believe that I'm just like a genuinely like kind of like nice person. I don't really ever think ill thoughts or you know, wish anything bad upon anyone. And like when I really meet someone and I'm interested in them, I really come very open. I'm not really, you know, mean or guarded. Yeah. I used to be, I think, a lot more guarded, and now I'm just kind of like, there is no use in being guarded. It's better to just be free and to be open and to allow that person to allow yourself to see whether they can handle your truth. And so I feel that I just pride myself on being good and honest, and kind of being silly too. I think I'm funny.
You gotta have
I
fun.
think I'm fun. I think all the guys who date me, there's one thing they could say, she's crazy, she's busy, she's focused on her career, but she's a lot of fun.
You got a lot of energy too.
I got a lot of fun.
We love it. So do you have a boo?
I don't have a boo. I've got boos.
I know that's right. You know what, girl? There is something to learning how to date.
I've never done it before.
Hello?
I've never done it before.
Are you a Leo?
I am a Cancer.
Oh, okay.
I am a relationship girl all the way through.
I totally understand.
And you know, for the first time in my life, I'm really experiencing, I think, the balance of personal and professional, and not putting too much weight on either, and just kind of going with the flow of things. Again, living out of that, what it's supposed to be and what it looks like and what it's, you know.
You let it be.
you just let it be. And I feel like it's not really dating. I think it's just getting to know people. And I think that that's a very valuable lesson on any level, whether you're physical, whether you're just emotional, whether you're just conversational. I think it is important that you challenge yourself to interact with other people because you learn so much about yourself.
Girl, you done said something. Now you have gotten the 411 for real from Melanie Fiona. That is her MF life. I'm your girl Dia Direct, and we have gone beyond the studio.